As we continue to mourn the tragic death of Kobe Bryant, his daughter Gianna, and the other 7 victims killed in the devastating helicopter crash, Kobe Bryant's life, legacy, and greatness will forever live in our hearts. From the time he entered the NBA as a 17-year-old teenager, his goal was to simply be the best. From putting up the countless hours in the gym, reaching out to proven superstars coming into the league, the Mamba mentality will continue to pave the way for millions of people across all types of field. Whatever your dream may be, Kobe's spirit will continue to inspire us all. After an extremely brutal couple days, seeing all the emotions from Kobe's ex-teammates, all the lives he's touched, to the guys who's believed in him from day one, Jerry West, and the incredible stories shared by many around the NBA, it is only right to honor Kobe's legacy and continue on with our Mamba mentality for us to inspire the younger generation. In honoring the great Kobe Bryant, let's take a look at 10 of his greatest playoff series. Most of those came from the years he's won his championships. Starting with number 10, 2003 first round series against the Minnesota Timberwolves. After his passing, the team respectfully started the game, placing the ball in the spot where Kobe passed Michael Jordan on the all-time scoring list. A class act remembering Kobe, who played the franchise twice in the postseason. Unfortunately, Bryant didn't win a title in 2003, but put up 31.8 points, over 5 rebounds, almost 7 assists on 43% shooting in the series. In the tough-loaded Western Conference, the Lakers finished 5th, winning 50 games, which would have been tied for first place in the East. Minnesota, led by prime Kevin Garnett, won 51 games. Both KG and Kobe finished 2nd and 3rd for MVP respectively. Either one of these teams would have reached the finals if they played in the East. The first year, the NBA changed its first round series to a best of 7, up from best of 5. It didn't matter that the 3-time defending champ didn't have home court advantage to start out. Kobe immediately proved who was best, dropped 39 in game 1 along with 8 assists on over 53% shooting in a 19-point blowout. Minnesota won the next 2 after tying the series at 2-2. Bryant went off in the 3rd quarter of game 5, scored 16 of his 32 in that period, had a ridiculous filthy baseline dunk on Kevin Garnett, one of the nastiest dunks all time, leading to a 120-90 win. After Minnesota narrowed LA's 17-point lead to 6 at the end of 3, the Mamba made sure he sent the Timberwolves home in game 6, scored the first 10 points for the team in the 4th, breaking the game open, had 14 in the first 6 minutes of the final period, finished with 31 points, 8 dimes, scored 30 plus 5 of the 6 games, proved he was the best player that series. Number 9, 2010, Kobe against the Utah Jazz semifinals, averaging 32 points, almost 4 rebounds, nearly 6 assists on over 52% shooting, eliminating prime Deron Williams and Carlos Boozer for the 3rd straight season. Kobe continued to torch the Jazz after playing through numerous injuries that season, elevated his game, bullied CJ Miles and Wesley Matthews the whole series, scored 30 plus every one of those games. Up 3, Kobe easily drove to the basket, giving his team a 5-point lead in the first game. With under 23 seconds left, the best player at the time continued his clutch performance, finished with 30 points, 8 assists in game 2, drained the baseline jumper over Wesley Matthews in game 3, giving LA a 1-point lead, tied the game with a 3 a few moments later. With under a minute left, ended up winning by a point, closed out game 4 with 32, ending the Williams-Boozer Jazz era. Number 8, going back to his first series against D. Will and C. Booz, 2008 semifinals against the same Utah Jazz, the MVP averaged 33.2 points, 7 rebounds, 7.2 assists after a dominating 4-game sweep in the first round. We'll get to that in a little bit. Kobe had a masterpiece performance in game 1, dropped 38 on 16 shots, annihilated Ronnie Brewer, Matt Harpering, and Andrei Kirilenko the whole series, received the MVP trophy in game 2, responded with an MVP type performance, 34 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists on 61% shooting against a 54-win Utah team that reached the conference finals the season before. After Utah tied the series at 2-2, Kobe ignited his team to victory. Him, Powell, and Lamar combined for 69 points in game 5, 26 for the Mamba on 10 shots, closed out game 6 with 34 points on 19 shots, 8 boards, 6 assists, complete domination. Nothing Utah could have done to stop the Mamba. A year later, Kobe went on to average 27.4 points in the 5-game series win against the same Jazz. Number 7, 2008 first round Denver Nuggets. After having home court advantage in a series for the first time since 2004, the Lakers finished number 1 in the West, 57 wins, the most unexpected team to contend, from 42 wins to 57, and the addition getting Pau Gasol. Only 7 games were separated between the 1st and 8th seed. Having 3 of the best scorers squaring up in the series in Kobe, Iverson, and Melo, the Mamba proved who was superior. Averaged 33.5 points, over 5 rebounds, over 6 assists, 1.5 steals, 1.5 blocks on 50% shooting. After Pau Gasol's 36, 18, and 8 performance in Game 1, Kobe had one of his best games ever in Game 2, abusing young J.R. Smith, Lennox Kleza, Araujo Nohara, and Kenyon Martin the whole time, pouring in 49 points on 18 of 27 shooting, 10 assists. Simply one of the best performances in Lakers franchise history, made everything look effortless, easily won Game 3 before dominating Game 4 with 31, 7, and 6, 3 steals, 2 blocks, showing a little bit of everything in his arsenal, with the defense, athleticism, soaring above the rim, easily blowing by guys, combined with his impeccable footwork in the post, fadeaways, and excellent facilitating, banked in the tough runner with under 41 seconds left, putting his team up 5, closed out the series in a convincing sweep, leaving Iverson and Anthony speechless, pretty much ended their time together in Denver. Number 6, 2009 NBA Finals against Orlando. 7 years since winning his 3rd title, Kobe made sure nobody was going to stop him in capturing number 4 as the leader and clear-cut number 1 option on his team without any hesitation. The Mamba went straight to work, set the tone in Game 1, giving all his bags of tricks to Michael Petrus, who had no chance, a dominating 40.8 rebounds, 8 assist performance to go along with 2 steals and 2 blocks, giving the Magic no hope, winning 175 convincingly. Despite cooling off the next 4 games, the damage was already done, scoring at least 29 points in each of the other games, along with 8 assists in 3 of the next 4, ran a pick and roll beauty to perfection in overtime of Game 2, leading Pau Gasol to a strong finish. After a close Game 3 loss, down 12 in Game 4 of halftime, LA came storming back with Kobe's brilliance, down 5 with under a minute left in the game. Kobe had an amazing no-look pass in transition to Gasol to finish for the jam, strongly fouls Dwight Howard, who missed both free throws. Laker ball, 2 guys chased after Kobe, leaving Derek Fisher with a good look, half a minute left in OT. Tie game, Kobe found D Fish for the go-ahead 3, a much-needed 32, 7, and 8 for the comeback win. Bryant closed out Game 5 with an easy 13-point win, had 30 points, 6 rebounds, 5 dimes, 4 steals, including 4 blocks. Every time Orlando tried to make it close, Kobe kept coming. His desire and success for redemption simply wouldn't be denied, silenced a lot of his critics, undoubtedly cemented himself right next to the greatest of the greats. Number 5, 2008 Western Conference Finals, San Antonio. Kobe averaged 29.2 points, over 5.5 rebounds, almost 4 assists, 1.6 steals on over 53% shooting. The numbers weren't insanely crazy, but the way he closed out and dominated down the stretch was absolutely remarkable. 2 of the best players of their generation in Kobe and Timmy D. Kobe destroyed San Antonio many times in previous postseasons. Both teams separated by 1 game in the regular season, a tall order after San Antonio winning 3 of the last 5 NBA titles, a dynasty after getting off to a slow start. Tim Duncan was absolutely dominating and bullying Gasol on the block. San Antonio was even up 20 halfway in the 3rd, but Kobe scored 25 of his 27 points in the 2nd half. His team went on a 14-0 run to make things close after being tied at 85-all. Kobe nailed the go-ahead game winner, putting his team up 2 with under 24 ticks left against Bruce Bowen, followed by a 22-point performance, blowing out San Antonio by 30 in Game 2. After losing Game 3 in a blowout, followed by a 28-point performance in a very close Game 4 93-91 win, the game was tight throughout, but San Antonio never took the lead, a win away from reaching the finals for the first time in 4 years. The Lakers trailed 28-15 at the end of 1 in Game 5, but Kobe absolutely imposed his will on the game. He didn't drop 50, but remembering this game like yesterday, it was one of the best Kobe Bryant performances I have ever seen, never leaving any doubt whether it was a contested mid-range jumper or attacking the basket. Kobe absolutely abused, annihilated, destroyed, and demolished Bruce Bowen and Tim Duncan from all areas of the court, simply unstoppable. One of the Kobe games that truly stood out to me, finished with 39 points, a must-watch for anybody who hasn't seen it. All I could say was pure domination by number 24. Number 4, 2001 Western Semifinals against the Sacramento Kings, the peak of Kobe and Shaq. After eliminating Portland all 3 games by double digits in the first round, Kobe embarrassed all defensive guard Doug Christie, prime Chris Webber, and Peja Stojakovic, dropped 17 of his 29 points in the 3rd quarter of Game 1. Shaq punished Vlade Divac, finished with 44 and 21. Game 2 was much of the same, with Shaq's dominating 43 and 20 rebound performance, Kobe 27 points. The two combined for 143 of of the team's 204 points in the first 2 games. Then it was Kobe's turn to go God mode. Went off for 36 in game 3, a plus 28, dominated in the 3rd quarter once again, a convincing victory. The 22-year-old saved his best for the closeout game with an all-time performance in game 4, famously known for the dunk over Folly Divas. The guy Jerry West traded to get him. An epic 48 points, 16 rebound classic, played all 48 minutes. Shaq fouled out as well in that game. A masterful, breathtaking display on all levels, easily one of the best closeout individual games we have ever seen. Kobe and Shaq averaged over 68 points combined for that whole series. But the series after was even more dominating, which we'll get to after going with number 3, 2009 Western Conference Finals against the red hot Denver Nuggets. I was absolutely nervous for this series, seeing the Nuggets smash the Hornets in game 4 in the first round by a playoff record 58 points, knocking off Dirk Nowitzki's Mavs in 5 in the semis, in one of the most competitive matchups between the 30-year-old Kobe and 24-year-old Melo. Kobe put up 34 points, 5.8 rebounds, 5.8 assists on 48% shooting. Kobe poured in 40 in game 1 against Melo at his physical peak, a pesky Dante Jones, K-Mark, and J.R. Smith. The Lakers won by the skin of their teeth, 105-103. Melo had 39 that game. Game 2 was another epic battle that did not disappoint. Melo 34, Kobe 32, an era where the refs simply let the players go at it physically. It was the Nuggets who escaped with a 3-point win, but game 3, Clutch Mamba was on full display. In the back and forth battle, number 24 took matters into his own hands, freed a cold-blooded 3 with 69 seconds left, up 1, 41 points for Bryant, as determined as he's ever looked. A huge win to take back home court advantage, led the way in game 5 with 5 Lakers scoring in double figures, took care of the rest in game 6, giving the Nuggets no hope from the beginning. Being a man possessed, 35 points, 10 assists on 60% shooting, a plus 31 in the closeout, proving why he was the best player in the 2000s. Nothing was gonna stop Kobe from pursuing his first championship without Shaq. That Nuggets team was by far the best prime Melo has ever been on. They were clearly better than Orlando overall. Growing up, Kobe and Melo going at it, the 09 Western Conference Finals will be a series I'll remember for a lifetime. Number 2, picking up from where we left off, Kobe 2001 against San Antonio Western Conference Finals. After being swept by this same team 2 years before as a 20-year-old in '99, the last 2 champions and 3 of the best players in the game in Shaq, Kobe, and Duncan all in one series. San Antonio had the best record in the league, 58 wins, LA 56 wins. Whoever was going to win this series was pretty much guaranteed to win the title. Amongst the best of the best, Kobe was simply on another level, averaged a spectacular 33.3 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists on over 51% shooting. Because it happened over 18 years ago, many people today never seen this series. Right from the start, Kobe blasted the Spurs in the Alamo, connected on all cylinders, a 45.10 rebounds performance, embarrassed Antonio Daniels, Sean Elliott, and the Twin Towers, fearlessly attacked the basket, and had a bunch of amazing dunks on all-time great defenders in Duncan and Robinson. An absolutely dazzling performance, followed by a 28-point effort with a clutch 3 in game 2. Shaq gave Kobe the greatest compliment, saying he's the best player in the world. Kobe certainly played like it. Following the next 2 games at Staples, poured in 36, 9, and 8. The Spurs weren't even close to being on the same level as the Lakers, made them look like the worst team in the NBA, blowing them out by 39, followed by another blowout in game 4, a smooth 24-point, 11-assist game for the Mamba. This version of Kobe and Shaq was the best 1-2 punch on the same team at the same time, absolutely ripped the Spurs defense apart. The worst beating in the Pop Duncan era. Kobe and Shaq did whatever they wanted, whenever they wanted. Absolutely astonishing how amazing the two were together at their best. The narrative for Kobe haters who said he was carried by Shaq in their 3-peat, those people don't know anything about basketball and it's absolutely fake news. Number 1, 2010 Western Conference Finals against Phoenix, a revenge season for the Mamba for all the painful memories of losing to Nash's Suns in 06 and 07 because Kwame Brown and Smush Parker was in the lineup. 2 heavyweight teams going at it. Kobe averaged 33.7 points, over 7 rebounds, almost 8.5 assists, over a block on 52% shooting, 43% from 3 and 88 from the line for the series, where Phoenix surprisingly swept San Antonio in the semis. Kobe gave us the complete package package and was consistent throughout all 6 games, had a double-double in 4, flirted with a triple-double in 3, eclipsed 30 points in all but game 2, which was a Laker blowout of course. Bryant came out the gate, answered with 40 points, 5 rebounds, 5 dimes in game 1, played less than 36 minutes. After taking a 2-0 series lead, despite Kobe being phenomenal the next 2 in Phoenix, Prime Stoudemire answered with 42 in game 3. While game 4, Phoenix's bench outscored the Lakers bench 54-20, the Suns used a 2-3 zone to limit LA's inside dominance, but Kobe continued to ball out. His team won by 2 in game 5 thanks to Ron Artest's game winner. Kobe, Powell, D-Fish, and Lamar scored 90 of the team's 103 points, but game 6 was one of Kobe's signature performances, the perfect game to describe the Black Mamba. With Phoenix knowing this was likely their last hope and trying to pursue the title, fighting back with every ounce, Kobe was like, nope, Grant Hill and the others played as well on defense as anybody, but the best impossible shot maker continued to drain daggers after daggers. After Phoenix sensing a comeback multiple times, narrowed LA's lead to 3, but the Mamba shut the door, having a series of pump fakes, fadeaway rainbows, doing it from the same spot over and over. The tap to Alvin Gentry says, "Take that, Alvin," helped the Lakers advance to the finals for the third straight season, captured his 5th and final championship 3 weeks later. With all his incredible performances and success on the basketball court, Kobe's legacy and greatness will forever be embraced, and for me growing up as a kid from Brooklyn, New York, it was an absolute honor and privilege to watch my idol perform, succeed, and win in every aspect of life, paving the way for the younger generation, both millions of men and women across the globe. It is up to us to achieve success, continue to strive for excellence, follow our dreams, live every day with no regrets. Thank you so much for watching this video. More Kobe videos to come in the future. Thank you, Kobe. Rest in paradise.